Setting too high a price for your property, which I call costly error number 4 in my list of costly errors when you are selling, is the opposite of costly error number 3, which is setting too low a price. You see, setting too high a price is much more common. And that's because it's human nature, obviously, to want the highest possible price we can get for our property. And it's a common goal for the seller of the property and the seller's agent to try and get the maximum price for the property, because that benefits everybody, the agent and the seller. It's very common to set the price higher than we want to allow for a bit of room for negotiation. This is particularly common with Asian-based sellers, as they're used to the art of negotiation. And it's a very, very common and sometimes a very costly mistake. You see, it's critical to recognize that many of the buyers who are going to be Australians are not as used to negotiating heavily as many other people in different countries are. So if it's overpriced, they simply walk away. They go in and say, well, it's above my budget. They may ask, is the seller negotiable? The agent may answer yes to a certain extent, but they may feel the gap is too high and be uncomfortable to negotiate at such a high level. Secondly, the buyers may be buying their property for the first time and not sure about the art of negotiation, or only their second house, and they're not sure how much they should be negotiating. So they will often think, again, the gap is too big. Maybe I shouldn't be offering such a low price. If the buyer is not represented by a buyer's agent who is experienced in the art of negotiation and will have no problems offering you a low price, and most buyers are not represented by their own agent, they just walk in off the street, you could easily lose a great number of buyers by pricing too high. This is critical to understand when you're selling your property. When interested buyers come to look at the property based on the advertised price, they quickly decide if it's overpriced or not and move on to the next property. So they make a very quick decision, this is overpriced, they just move on. You may never have a chance to negotiate with them. They often just walk away, and yet one of these could have been your perfect buyer, who actually loved the property, has the financial means to buy it, but never considered making an offer due to the perceived high price. And other potential buyers never came to look because they thought it was out of their budget, because their budget went to there and you priced it there, hoping to negotiate back there, but they were maximum budget, and yet that's what they could have bought it for, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. So don't make the mistake of pricing your property too high. To get all of the mistakes, in the description below will be a link to my common and costly mistakes that many sellers are making in